Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship, hosted by the SimZone, and we are here at Ricard for round 2, and currently 7 minutes into this qualifying session. We've got Whitehead on provisional pole with a 153 flat here, and looks like he will be aiming for the 52s. There's already a 10th up, so this could definitely be a 52 here, especially with the optimum track. And a very good track temp and ambient temp here. We may see quite a few drivers dip into the 52s now. Mamid currently in P2, he's returned the car to the pits. Muller in P3 at the moment, 6/10 off. And we do actually have Dow King, also known as Darren King, back with us here after getting his new wheel. He's all sorted, running the Aston Martin at the moment, and the number 38 car there. And he's yet to put in a qualifying lap here. But while we wait for a few more times to come in, let's bring up the standings coming into this round. So we currently have Whitehead leading the championship coming into this round on 106 points, followed by Christian Muller on 99 in P2, Tassin in P3 on 94, who I believe isn't with us for this round, so that will pretty much be his drop round for this championship. Hillhorst in P4 on 90 points, Malik Mahmoud in P5 on 87, Ethan Faulkner there in P6 on 84, Luke Viken in P7 on 81, Michael Hutchinson in P8 on 78. Now Hutchinson competing in quite a few of our championships here at the SimZone, which is good to see. Sidor in P9 on 75 points and rounding off the top 10 in the championship. FBB there in P10 on 72 points. So we go back to the qualifying session then. Whitehead is into the pits, didn't seem to improve that lap that last time around. Mammoth currently on an invalid lap. Canberra is up by a 10th. He looks to be one of the only two that is up for an improvement. Cano here coming onto the Minstrel Straight now, or the Mistral Straight, is 8/10ths up, so he could be looking for a good time, but at the moment he hasn't really set a proper lap here. I mean, the last lap was a 3:34, and the best is showing as a 6:38. So yeah, I don't think that's quite correct. So he's looking to set a proper lap time here in this qualifying session. Looks like Hutchinson just moving out the way there for one of the other cars. We did have yellow flags there for a second. Ethan Faulkner's off the track. I think he's going to return the car to the pits. Probably get a fresh set of rubber to try and improve. Whitehead back on track now, looking for some more time here. And where is Darren King? Currently still yet to set a lap. Actually, the last was 1:54 flat, but it wasn't invalid. And track limits here at Paul Ricard, we know, not easy at all. They are very strict here at Paul Ricard. We usually see a lot of drive-through penalties being handed out throughout the race. I think we may even see a few here for round 2. We go back to Mohamed, who's currently a 10th up. Let's go on board with him, actually. And they're coming down a long straight here. He's not really going to have the slipstream of the car in front. They are a bit too far ahead, I think, for it to be much of an advantage. And in fact, he's lost some time here. He was a 10th up. He's now pretty much even with his time. Ferrari, quite a good car here at Paul Ricard. Porsche's fairly decent as well. It's just the straights where the Porsche's definitely going to struggle. And I think if Mohamed can stay close to Whitehead, as soon as we get onto that straight, he's going to have a good chance of either getting past or sticking with Whitehead. And it's not too far off in this qualifying session. I mean, Mohamed on a 1:53.5. His last obviously being an invalid lap, but I'm sure he's got more time in the tank here. Whitehead, where is he? He's on the Mistral Straight now. He is a 10th up, so looking to dip into the 1:52s now. Now we've got the number 89 Aston also on the straight. We seem to be catching everyone on the straights here. Mahera still yet to set a valid lap in this qualifying session. And I believe no, they're on a valid lap at the moment, but it is showing up as being 7/10ths down. Where is King? Currently about to cross the line here. What's it going to be for him as he crosses the line? He puts it into P4 there, 6/10ths off. And he's still definitely got some more time to improve here as he goes for another lap. Now, I wonder how much fuel he's got left in his car, as we are running low in time in this qualifying session. Only just under 3 minutes left to go. Mohamed there returning the car to the pits now. He does have a chance to go for another lap, but it's going to be cutting it very, very close if he doesn't go out shortly. And there we go, Whitehead now into the 1:52s, a 1:52.980 from Whitehead. What an absolute bunker of a lap. EJ in the comments saying he was thinking that Paul and Alan were racing in here, but no, they're in the race tomorrow. Team League Pro, good to see you here as well. Whitehead there catching up to some traffic, and he's going to return. Is he going to return the car to the pits, or is he going to go for another lap? I think he really needs to, but he's obviously going to get warmed up during this qualifying session. Muller currently in P3. Isn't up on his lap time at the moment. He's 6/10ths off. Only needs about a 10th to start on the front row here. But we've still got many drivers that are up for improvements. Dressel in the McLaren here, still a 10th up I mean, down the Mistral Straight. Sidor as well. Currently sitting in P8. You usually see Sidor a bit further up, but struggling in the Porsche at the moment at this track. Let's see if he can find any more time. Dressel still 2/10 up on his lap. Likewise is Sidor, but Sidor is invalidated. Has he gone wide? Yes, he's off the track, and that is his qualifying session over. So Sidor's going to return the car to the pits, and he's not going to be able to set another lap here. Dressel is coming towards the last few corners now. Can he improve at all? Coming through the final corner, what's it going to be for Dressel? He's kept it 2/10 positive, no down to 1/10, and he's going to cross the line. It's not going to be a position gained, but it's going to be a slight improvement there for Dressel, and he goes for another lap, as he should. Now Canberra here is, I believe he's just started a lap. Yep, he's only 20 seconds into this lap so far. So he might be up for an improvement as well. He was currently 2/10 up into this first sector, but he's lost it somewhere. But still, Canberra sitting in P13, 1.9 seconds off at the moment. But the timer has now hit 0, so whoever is in the pits will not be able to go back out again, and whoever crosses the line now will finish their qualifying session. Whitehead up for even more of an improvement here. Mamid also 2/10 up, so he could be looking to get even closer to Whitehead in this qualifying session and try and secure that P2 as well, because Darren King currently 4/10 up, and he's exited the final corner. He's lost a 10th there, but what is it going to be? Is it going to be P2 here for King? And he's going to cross the line into P2. He goes, still 4/10 off of Whitehead, but that's possibly a front row start here for King, unless Mamid can pull something out of the bag now. He is currently 2/10 up, and if he can hold this up until he crosses the finish line, the checkered flag, he's going to be back into P2 on that second row. I know we've got the top 6 all within a second at the moment. Mamid's going to need to get these last few corners absolutely perfect. As he exits the final corner, he's lost all that time he had, but is it? I don't think it's going to be enough for Mamid. I think he's going to stay P3 here, and there we have it. Whitehead in P1, Darren King in P2, and Malik Mamid in P3. We'll be back very shortly for the start of this 1 hour race. So we are back here. Driver's just getting ready for the formation lap, and looks like Jan made it just in time, and he'll be starting from the back of the grid. Some of the comments saying, is Jan in this one? There we go, he's typing in the comments now. But CJ is showing his support for Jan. Anyone else who is watching, make sure to drop a like. Tell us that you're watching. Tell us who you're supporting. It would be great to hear from you. Zikra in the comments, good to see you once again. And here we go, the drivers now making their way onto the formation lap. And we do have a mandatory pit stop in this race as well, like usual. And of course the drivers will have to serve that during the pit window. But it's quite different in this one compared to our other championships. We have a mandatory tyre change in this one instead of the usual refueling. So we might have some drivers going full tank, we might have some drivers going half tank. It's pretty much all up to them, and well, we can't really see their strategy. It's all down to the teams, and we'll have to see what they do throughout the race. But pit window will open 20 minutes into the race and once again close 20 minutes before the end. I think for future seasons we might mix it up a bit and make the pit window longer, or just see what else we can do to mix things up, make it a bit more exciting. Not that it's not exciting as it is, but yeah, just have a change, to be honest. But yeah, Whitehead obviously got pole position in that qualifying session, and he'll be starting on the front row. Darren King in P2. I think he's going to be Whitehead's main competition. Obviously, Darren King, also known as Dow King, wasn't able to have his wheel for the first round, so that will be counted as his drop round. And from here on, he's going to be giving Whitehead a lot of pressure. I think Mamid, also another driver, to be really putting on the pressure to these two. The qualifying session was very close between these top three, and Muller there in P4 could give them a run for their money as well. We saw Sidor in P8 put it in P2 last time out at Zolder, but he just wasn't able to keep up with Whitehead in the opening few laps. He had to defend from the drivers behind him, and that's what allowed Whitehead to pull away so easily. So Sidor is one that can put up a challenge for Whitehead. He just needs to have a good qualifying, I think, and be able to stick with the top drivers here at the start if he wants to pose any threat. But I'm sure the drivers won't have any troubles here getting heat into their tyres and brakes. And we're looking quite warm here at Paul Ricard for this round, and once again an optimum track. Now it's been fairly dry for the start of this season in all our championships, but we are expecting some rain further on throughout the season. It could mix things up in terms of grid order, because driving in the dry, I mean, it's fairly simple. Once you get into the wet, you get to see who the real drivers are. And although the wet in ACC not the best, it is good for what it is, but I think compared to real life it is quite different. But of course, can't be exactly the same. And here we go, drivers lining up side by side. Now Whitehead's going to have the inside into turn one. Dowking's going to be on the outside for turn one, but if he holds it round, he could have the inside for turn two. And then we're about to go green very, very shortly here. Who's going to get the jump into turn one? The Porsche. Whitehead off to a great start, using that acceleration to his advantage, and he pulls to the racing line there, not giving King any chance to go for an outside move into turn two. And looks like everyone through cleanly so far, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, everyone through cleanly, which is great to see. And these two still stuck together. King looking towards the inside, had to back out of that. but he's already applying the pressure here to Whitehead, and knowing Down King here, he's not going to let him get away easily. You can see in the background Mamid here having to defend against Muller. These two don't really want to be battling too much to begin with. They want to try and work together to stick with the top two, otherwise they're going to be long gone in a matter of laps. And I think Muller's probably realised that now. He's backed off slightly. He's going to allow Mamid to try and catch back up. The top two, Darren's going to be using the slipstream here of Whitehead. Is Whitehead going to be able to hold this position? They are side by side now. King's on the inside. His car slightly ahead, but is it going to be enough? Can Whitehead hold it round the outside? He might be able to do so. No, he's not. They're still side by side though, and King is going to gain that position. No, still not. Whitehead on the outside. King still on the outside here, and they are still side by side. I think Whitehead's going to have the inside for the next left-hander, and he might be able to slot back in to P1. And yes, he does. So King back down into P2 here, but with these two battling this hard, it's allowed Mamid and Muller to close right back up. And in fact, we'll bring up the race gaps here so we can see how far everyone is to each other. There we go, that's much better. Now the top two is separated by 4/10 here, so Whitehead has pulled away ever so slightly, but I mean, you can't rule out King, Mamid or Muller. They are still so close, and I think these four are going to be the ones to watch out. Some cones flying there. There we go, all of them have gone now. Someone had to get the last one. I think that was Ethan Faulkner there who knocked the last cone. But he's followed by Pithras, who's actually now fallen into the clutches of Sidor. Sidor already up into P7, looking for P6 here. He's starting P8, so he's gained a position off the start. And look how close he is to the back of that BMW already. But he's got two drivers behind him. He has to be careful here. Finn Dressel, well, not just two, this is a whole train. We've got Dressel, Hillhorst, FB, who's made a slight mistake there. Viken now in the Porsche right behind him there in that Need for Speed or New Motion Racing livery. I think it says Need for Speed on the side. I'm not quite sure, but he's going to need to use that slipstream of the BMW in front if he wants to be able to keep up. You can see this Porsche's behind. Cano here in the bright yellow Porsche, followed by Alfajevich, and then Canberra, and then Ford, who is going side by side here with Hutchinson. Hutchinson down the inside. Is he going to get that move done? He is there, and a very good move into that fast right-hander at the end of the straight, but can he hold it together? No, he's gone wide, and that's allowed for a back down the inside here, and he's going to gain that position, and the Aston Martin there is going to capitalize on that, and he's gained another position. Oh, he's gained two positions in one corner, so he's moved up into P15 there, and what an amazing move from him. Great timing. And we see that Hutchinson bouncing all over the curves. We've got a great battle here from P15 all the way down to, I believe, P18 prior as well. No, P19 prior is in this battle now as well. And it looks like, oh, I thought there was a bit of contact. Now, not just prior, we've got two priors actually. This one in the Aston being Stuart Pryor, the other one being Matt Pryor. Oh, that's going to be a bit confusing. But no, we've got the cars, the manufacturers up there as well, so you can see who's who. Andy Purcell as well on the back of this train, and it looks like pretty much the whole field from P15 down to P26 all bunching up now. But we'll move back to the top two here. Whitehead and King very close on track still, but they've somehow managed to break away from the rest of the field. Maybe not battling too hard anymore, but to try and pull away from the rest before battling for position. Mamid 2 seconds back now, Muller a second back to Mamid. So they are dropping back. That last lap they were in the 154s, and for King and Whitehead both in the 153.6s, so lapping very similarly there, and they'll be pulling away almost by a second a lap here as we speak. But we'll keep the battle for P1 here up on the screen. We'll grab the battles further down the mid-pack on our secondary screen here, and Down King maybe still trying to look for a move here. I don't actually think he's trying to work together with the Luke. They look towards the inside. Whitehead's going to have to go slightly defensive here. You can see didn't go for that wider line to get back towards the inside of that corner. That corner does have a weird camber to it, so if you stay on the outside for too long, you can get quite a lot of understeer. But as I said, King is definitely still looking for a move, and Mahmoud now maybe having to defend from Muller, and looks like that is the Mercedes we saw earlier with a lot of damage. And I think no, it's not Alfavich. I can't remember what Mercedes that was. They've picked up a lot of damage now. I know it's not going to bode well for them. They're going to have to try and drive through that damage, I think, until the pit window. But if they pit now, which they're going to, no, they're going to lose too much time here. But maybe the car just too undrivable for them to continue. So you're going to have to serve another pit stop here in this race once the pit window does open. These two still very, very close. Only separated by 7/10, and King maybe losing a bit more time now, but we saw this earlier in the opening stages. He was about 7/10 back, and then he closed back in, especially down this straight. This is going to be crucial for King to stay in that slipstream and try and close in as much as possible. And it was Fora who had to go into the pits there, so he's got so much damage now. You can see here King and Whitehead just separated by 3/10, so King closing that gap by a whole 4/10 there, just on that straight. And all that could be track limits, maybe for the both of them there. That was very touch and go between the two, so that could have been a warning for them. And like I mentioned earlier, track limits here at Paul Ricard are absolutely horrible, and we may see some drive-throughs here today. And I can see two of the priors out on track. Both priors battling with each other at the moment, so we'll quickly switch to them as well. We'll just bring it up on our secondary screen here. But that's a great battle to watch. Currently Matt Pryor ahead there of Stuart Pryor, so Matt has made the move in the Audi, but look at this train we've got going on. Absolutely brilliant between all of them. I'm just going to get a helicopter view here, and in fact we'll bring it up side by side so we can watch both these battles at once. And looks like King seems to be losing a lot of time in that last sector where it's really twisty, and we've got some slower corners in that last sector as well, and that's where the Porsche is going to excel, especially on the exits. It can just get the power down much quicker, much more easily than the Aston can. But for Whitehead, I think it doesn't really matter at the moment, because he's going to get caught on that long straight, that Mistral straight. But maybe if he can open up a gap big enough, like he has now, a second gap, King might not be able to grab the slipstream, and he might not close in as much as he would if he was closer. This could be Whitehead's chance to pull away the gap down to 7/10 here already. We're not even at the end of the straight yet. The King looking quite good here. I think he's sitting comfortably now, but he's not going to want to let Whitehead get away by any means. And Whitehead very sideways. They're almost losing the car, but he's caught it just in time. And I think King is going to be rubbing his hands with that one. He's going to be saying, yes, I need more of those mistakes to try and close back in to Whitehead, or even gain the position off of Whitehead. That right-hander on the exit is very difficult, and you can see here, looks like Matt Pryor down the inside there of one of the Porsches. I believe that is Jan Barth there, and looks like he's been able to hold it round the outside, has Barth, and he's going to hold on to that position. But now Stuart Pryor looking down the inside there of the other Pryor, and they are side by side now. Both Pryors here, this is absolutely brilliant. Both Pryors side by side, the Audi and the Aston. Looks like the Aston of Stuart Pryor is going to have that move done, but no, Matt Pryor sends it back down the inside into the final corner, and he's going to hold on there to what I believe is P19. Now Stuart Pryor having to defend against Purcell there in the BMW. Is it going to be enough? He's moved back over to the racing line, but Purcell, I don't think he's going to have enough to send it into turn one. There you can see, backs off of that move. And look who's joined the action, Van Hoorn in a P21, right in the back of this train now. And in fact, this has allowed... it was actually Curtin in the Porsche, sorry. this has allowed Curtin to pull away now, so he's got about 1.7, nearly 2-second lead to this train, this battle that's going on. And in fact, he's actually catching up to the car ahead, which is Hutchinson in P15. The top two still going strong here, separated by a second. We'll keep an eye on these two. Let's have a look at some other battles as well while we watch these two at the front. But here we go. Let's look at Alfevich and FBBJR. These two only separated by a couple tenths now. The BMW closing in there under braking, but it's just a concertina effect at the moment. Looks like the Ferrari of Alfevich here pulling away now on the exit, and they're coming up towards the penultimate corner, now up towards the last corner. The gap still, as it were, 5 tenths between the two, and you can see in the background that is Canberra, only 2.7 seconds off, so he's not far off at all. And it looks like they are coming up to, I think, some lap traffic. I believe that is Anton Four, sorry, who did serve his pit stop. Well, not his mandatory pit stop, but a pit stop to repair his damage, of course. Jan saying, typing while driving in the comments, don't try this in real life. No, definitely don't want to use your phone while driving at all. Zikrai saying, nice defense. Simling Pro saying, nice driving. Yeah, I mean, we've had some great battles so far, and looks like now Whitehead has opened up a gap of 1.2 seconds. So we'll switch off of that battle just for now. And it looks like, actually, as we look up towards P5, Faulkner and Sidor almost side by side here. Faulkner down the inside, Sidor, he started P8, he's looking for P5 here. And we're only 13 minutes into the race, but he's not going to be able to get that done. He backs out of that move, and Faulkner is still able to hold on here to P5. But looks like they've got Pithavers closing in on them once again as well. Dressel and Hillhorst separated by only 3 tenths, so we're going to have to switch to them two in just a second as well. We've got so many battles going on, it's so difficult to keep up with what's going on. But let's have a look. Here we go. We're going to bring them up in just a moment. Here we go. We've got them up there in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. That is Dressel, followed by Hillhorst. McLaren versus Audi, but Sidor not letting Faulkner get away whatsoever. He's really glued, well, he was glued to his rear bumper. He's a bit further back now. Pithavers now still 1.5 seconds back, but he's going to need these two in front to continue battling. You can see in the background, that is Dressel and Hillhorst side by side coming into turn 1, and looks like Hillhorst having to back out of that. Wasn't alongside enough, so he's going to have to settle for P9 for now and try and make that move another day. But I reckon if they continued to, if they actually work together, they'd be able to close in at Pithavers, maybe even Sidor and Faulkner here. But let's see their lap times, in fact. So Faulkner currently lapping in the Faulkner and Sidor, their last laps being absolutely identical. We're going to have to get a comparison on this in terms of sector times, because I want to see exactly what the sector times were. But Sidor using the slipstream by the Ferrari, and is he actually going to be able to get past Faulkner? Maybe running a lot of wing here, and are they actually pushing each other? No, they're not. Sidor waits the last second to pull out the slipstream, but still it's not going to be enough. Faulkner can comfortably move back over to the racing line, and here we go. He holds on. The Porsche looking very sketchy there on the exit of that straight, and he goes wide there off the track, and so does Pithavers. He's so sideways there. I think he's back on track now. Yes, he is, but that could have been disaster for Pithavers there, but he's lost so much time now. 3.2 seconds back to Sidor, and now he's on the back, well, he's falling into the clutches of Dressel and Hillhorst here. So this could be a 3-car battle for P7. In fact, I wanted to get that comparison between these two. Actually, they're going to cross the line. I'm not going to be able to, am I? No, I'm not going to be able to, unfortunate. But yeah, they did have the same lap times last lap. Just shows how even on pace these two are. And that's why Sidor really struggling to get past here. Even with the slipstream he has down the Mistral Straight, he is really struggling to get past. Dressel doing a great job here at defending his position, pardon me, against Hilhorst. You can see here just using the rear view camera on board with Dressel. You see how close Hilhorst gets under braking, and Dressel going slightly defensive here, but it's not going to allow Hilhorst to get past. He needs to hope for a very good run down the Mistral Straight. Run slightly wide now. I think that's still within track limits and really close in is the question. The gap between the top two now 2.2 seconds. So Whitehead pulling away. However, in with the fastest lap of 1:53.310. And here we go. Here's the slipstream now coming into effect. We're going to go trackside to watch these two. I don't think it's going to be enough though. For Hilhorst, they are completely side by side now, but Dressel has the inside of the corner. There we go, and Hilhorst has to back out once again. I think unless you're ahead on the outside, it's a really difficult place to get past. So Dressel holds on there to P8. Let's look further down at some more battles. We've got Canberra and BJR here battling for P11. These two very, very close at the moment. Canberra looking for a switchback here, and is he going to do the textbook move? Looks like he is. They're still side by side though. Canberra slightly ahead. He's going to have the inside to the next corner in speed later on the brakes, which he is. But is that going to allow BJR for a switchback? No, it's not. He ran slightly deep into the corner as well. But is he going to send it down the inside to the final corner? He is, and that's going to allow BJR back down the inside and back into P11. Amazing racing between the two. It was a bit of a send down the inside into the final corner, but Canberra left the room. He left the door open, and obviously if you're a racing driver, you're going to take that opportunity when it comes. You're not going to step down from that. So here we go. BJR back into P11, and Canberra down into P12 once again. Canberra, however, lapping almost a second quicker than the BMW in front, so he has the pace to get past, but it's just about getting past and then holding on to that position is the key thing to do. You can see their Fora in the background in the Mercedes, but it looks like a slight mistake there from the BMW just in front, and we know the straight line speed of the Honda. It is very quick, and he's got a much better exit here leading up towards the straight. He's going to use that slipstream there. The BMW weaving slightly, which isn't what we like to see at all, but looks like he's stuck to that inside line now, and that's going to let Canberra to fly past even before we reach the corner. But there we go, Canberra up into P11. Now the question is, can he hold on, or is BJR going to be able to get back past? Looks like he is. They're going to be side by side once again, and you can see that Cano in the background very sideways, and BJR back up a position. These two are chopping and changing here, but that's going to allow Cano to close back into these two. And in fact, Cano has Fora just in front of him. Obviously Fora is allowed to unlap himself, but it looks like he's going to let Cano through here, which is probably the wisest thing to do. And that's going to allow Cano once again to catch back up to these two. Looks like Dressel and Hilhorst had a change in positions there. Obviously Dressel was in front before, and he's still in front now, but Hilhorst tried for a move. He was slightly in front, but he didn't pay off for him, so he's back down to P9. And let's have a look at the battle for P17. We've still got this train going on. So Curtin leading this train, followed by, let's try and get this right, Stuart Pryor and Matt Pryor. Then Van Hoorn there in the background. So a 4-car train for P17. And in fact, they're not letting Hutchinson pull away either. So Hutchinson still there or thereabouts. Definitely be a part of this battle. You can see that Canberra once again looking
for a move down the start, not the start finish straight, the long minstrel straight there, and he's going to get that move done, but it's at the end. Can he hold on is the question. We're going to go to our multi-view here. Camera is ahead, and let's see into the braking zone. Is he going to be, well, into the corner at least, is he going to hold on? He is this time, and there we go, up into P11 he goes, and you saw there Curtin losing a position to Pryor running slightly wide there. That could have been track limits for him, and the drivers once again going to have to be very careful. That's probably the worst place to pick up, or the easiest place to pick up track limits there. And looks like these two still side by side, Camera and BJR. Looks like BJR back down the inside here, but for the final corner he's shut the door as he's allowed to do so, and he's back up into P11. I have no idea how many times I'm going to have to say that, but the Camera pulling into the pits, Cano following him through. I think that was quite wise for Camera, otherwise he's going to lose a lot of time while battling with that BMW. We'll go back to Curtin here, who is still keeping the car out on track. They have caught Hutchinson up once again. The gap now to Hutchinson down to a second. Looks to be less now than that as well. What's happened to Dressel? What's happened to Dressel? He's had a bit of a mistake here. He's down into P18 now, and who was he battling with earlier? I can't remember. So many names. It was Hillhorst, I believe, and P8 is yeah, he's so far ahead on his own now. So there's definitely been a mistake here from Dressel, which is really unfortunate. Those two are having such a great battle, and the top two, Whitehead and King, separated by 5 seconds now. King's still with the fastest lap of the race. Remember, you do pick up a point for the fastest lap. So King's got that in the bag for now at least. You never know, it could come down towards the end with a new fresh set of boots. But this battle's still going on strong. It's pretty much a 5-car battle. Once again, it's now Hutchinson followed by Pryor, then Stuart Pryor, then Curtin, then Matt Pryor, then Carl Van Hoorn, and these two on the tail end of this train, slightly dropping back now, but they might decide to pit with the pit window open here. Van Hoorn struggling to get past at the moment. I think the best opportunity for him to get an undercut would be now. He pits early, he'll be in clean air once he exits, and he'll be able to maybe even get past the majority of this train that's going on. Is he going to pit? Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's listening, but that was the wisest thing to do. And Van Hoorn's been racing with us since the start, since we started the SimZone a year ago. So he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to the pit stops, and he's chosen the right thing to do. Pryor now leading this, well, not Pryor, sorry, Hutchinson leading this train, followed by Pryor. Curtin's still in the thick of it all, and looks like Matt Pryor's dropped off about a second now, but looks like he's going to be closing in with Stuart Pryor and Hutchinson going side by side there. That's going to allow Curtin down the inside there, the door wide open. Can Stuart Pryor hold it around the outside? I don't think he's going to be able to, but he's going to have to rely on the straight here, on the slipstream, to slingshot that past. And is he going to be able to do it? I think he might be. He's already catching up to the Porsche of Curtin. He's side by side now, and they're not even halfway down the straight. So I think for Pryor, he's going to be able to get back past easily. There we go. Curtin slots back into the slipstream, and as a result, that's allowed the Audi behind to close back in. Pardon me, we are back. Hutchinson's still leading this train. He's not going to be wanting to pit anytime soon, unless, of course, his tyres start to drop off. We've got 30 people watching. Make sure to give the stream a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. We're nearly at 800, so would be great to reach that by the end of the stream. Pete in the comments saying really good go Honda, supporting the Honda drivers because he's in one on Sunday. Saying what position is Carl in? Carl has pitted, so he's further down the grid. He's currently in the 23, but he's one of the few that have served their mandatory pit stops, and the majority of the grid are still yet to do so. But looks like the Audi here now caught back up, and there's been contact. Oh no, almost. Oh, a bit more contact there between the two. Really bad rejoin from Stuart Pryor, and what a great battle that was going on has ended up in a bit of carnage between these four drivers, and it looks like they've got one of the BMWs. Now, I think that's Purcell who's got past them. He's now involved in this battle as well, but it looks like there was a bit of contact between Curtin and Hutchinson. You can see here Purcell and Hutchinson now not really losing too many positions. Where is Curtin? Curtin still actually Curtin much further up ahead. He's up into P11 now as a result of that, so he didn't really lose much time. But Purcell and Hutchinson both driving for fitted UK Motorsport. Obviously there's no teams in this championship, but they are from the same team at least, from fitted UK Motorsport. But I don't think they'll really be working. I don't think they'll be working together though for position. They'll be battling as hard as they can. Sidor now into the pits. Oh, he's mandatory pit stop. Let's switch to the top two here. Whitehead. We watched these two quite a while in the beginning. They were super close, but it looks like Whitehead has just been able to lap quicker in the later stages of this race, and King has been able to. I mean, these two were lapping within a tenth of each other beforehand, but I think no, it's not damage on King's car, it's just a bit of dirt, bit of rubber that he's picked up on the car, and I don't think that will be slowing him down whatsoever. But yeah, he still has the fastest lap of the race, so he has what it takes, and you never know. Drive through penalties and track limits can come into play, so I think, and we also have the pit stop, so I think if you can keep it consistent here, he just needs to hope for Whitehead to make a mistake if he wants this win. But Mamid not too far behind either, 2.7 seconds, and actually Mamid has been closing in lap after lap. Is King going to pit? He is. His tyre is probably going off now as we reach the halfway mark. Mamid staying out on track. He is lapping in 154.4s. That last lap of 154.6, so still 2-3 tenths quicker than King was lapping. So Mamid could maybe even get closer after the pit stops. We just have to wait and see here. He's already a tenth up this lap into turns 1 and 2. It's P2 is on the cards for Mamid. King has to try and find a bit more pace. Obviously he'll be on a fresh set of rubber, so that may have been the issue of why he was losing a bit more time towards the end there. We switch back to these two, or these three even now. It's BJR followed by Camera, then Viken. These three have all pitted. Viken in the Porsche there, just in the background. He's not going to be close enough to go for a move, but Camera's got past once again, and these two are absolutely inseparable. They've been chopping and changing positions, Camera and BJR, since the start, and it looks like BJ has to go back down the inside. This is his favourite corner, I think, of the track, and Camera wide there onto the more abrasive surface here, the blue runoff. That's going to slow him down ever so slightly, and he's lost another position there to Viken as well, so down into P20, and you can see there one mistake cost him in so many positions, and looks like he was just moving out the way there for the race leader Whitehead, and this might even stir things up for the two in front, BJR and Viken. Or it's Whitehead going to dive into the pits now to minimise his time lost in traffic. No, he's going to stay out. He's in He doesn't want to pit just yet. Simly Pro saying go Curtin too. Just noticed the SLP logo on that Porsche. Yeah, he's running the, I believe it's the Advisor livery on that Porsche, which obviously has your logo on it as well. And I believe that livery made by Barth. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's a team he is racing with for some championships. But watching this battle now, Hutchinson and Hillhorse. Hutchinson still yet to pit, so these two on different strategies. I think he's going to allow Hillhorse through. But as he does, it's probably the best thing to do. They don't really want to be losing time by battling together. And Hillhorse almost losing the car there. Very, very wide. Tried to keep it within track limits, but as a result, got a bit sideways on the exit. But luckily, held it together. And looks like P3 now to P6, all in the pits. So those four will be serving their mandatory pit stops. Mohamed now out on track. Where is he? He is in front of the King here. Looks like King losing a bit of time to who is that? Is that one of the Porsches? I think that may be. Is that Curtin? P18. Who is that? No, it's not Curtin. It must be Barth then. In who's currently, where is Barth? Currently, if I can find him. Currently in P5, still yet to serve his mandatory pit stop, but King has lost quite a bit of time there in the pit stops. 1.5 seconds to Mavin now, and we can actually bring up how much time they've spent in the pit stops here, or in the pits. So let's have a look. So here we go. And in fact, it was, yes, King lost 2 seconds, exactly 2 seconds in the pit stops. So that's where he would have lost most of his time. So I don't think it was actually back markers getting in the way there. And this is looking good for Mohamed. He's looking good for a P2 now, in fact. For Mohamed in the Ferrari. And King, obviously, getting his new wheel. He was mentioning that he still needs to dial in his force feedback settings, so that maybe he may be able to find some more time once he has done so. But yeah, the pit stops here, something that can really make you win or lose the race. You see there the fastest pit stop so far being from I believe that's Purcell, 65.3 seconds spent in the pits, compared to, I think the slowest being 70 seconds. Yeah, the slowest being 70.3 seconds from Van Hoorn and Canberra. Actually, no, Pryor, one of the Pryors, don't know which one it is. In fact, we'll check now. It's brilliant when you have two people with the same surname. I don't believe they're related at all. So that is Stuart Pryor there in P22, who had a 70-second pit stop there, a 73-second pit stop there. So it's a lot of time lost in the pit stops, and that's just down to stopping in the pit box correctly or not. You know, it can take a few more seconds for the mechanics, or for you to be raised on the Ajax. It looks like P13 here, and P14, the Aston, the 89 Aston. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce their surname. I don't want to embarrass myself on stream, but 89 Aston and Viken are separated by half a second here. And these two starting... Well, the Aston starting P15, so they've made 2 places up already. Viken starting P11, so he's dropped back since his qualifying position, since his starting position. Well, he's gone backwards in this race, but he's looking to gain back some places here as we approach. Well, we're already in the second half of this race. We've got a lot of support for the team as advisor there. It's good to see. got 31 people watching. Anyone else who is watching, please do say hello. We've only seen a few people commenting. We'd love to see more people who are watching here get involved with the community a bit more. And looks like Beacon off there at the end of the Mistral Straight. He is facing the wrong way. He's got it going once again, but he's going to have some flat spots on those tyres for sure. Looks like there's a bit of damage he picked up as well, so could there have been a bit of contact between Beacon and the Aston? And in fact, we're going to bring up a replay just to see exactly what happened between the two there. Beacon, yeah, he's going to need to take it easy the next few laps to try and cool down his tyres. You know, those flat spots are going to be absolutely horrible, if he does have any, of course. You can see that he has definitely picked up a bit of damage. Cano into the pits once more, so I think that is a drive-through penalty for Cano. Yes, it is. He's going to have to serve that. He's going to drop right down the order here. But what a shame for Cano. He was running in P14. Where did he start? Cano started, in fact, in P9, so he's actually lost a lot of positions. He's going to lose even more now in the pits, especially with the mid-pack being so close. And what a shame there for Cano. Beacon here, not really battling with the Mercedes behind him, the Mercedes being 4 and P24, who had to enter the pit lane twice due to collecting some damage in the opening stages of the race. Not sure if it was his fault or not, but we'll get a replay of that up first, in fact, to see exactly what happened. But looking at Cano, who's now come out in front of Barth here, the two Porsches battling for position. They've got Stuart Pryor in the Aston, not too far off of them either. And looks like Matt Pryor now into the pits as well, so that's the last driver to serve their mandatory pit stop with 2.5 minutes left to spare of the pit window. We're definitely going to bring up a replay to try and see what happened to firstly Fora, who lost a lot of, picked up a lot of damage and then had to pit. In fact, I think we found what happened already. So while we wait for the replay to come up, we've still got Cano and Barth batting for position. Looks like Beacon now has picked up a drive-through penalty as well, so he'll drop right down the order. Pryor is out of the pits. Where has he come out? Just in front of Purcell here. Purcell's not going to be able to get past coming into turn 1, so we've still got this battle going on. Well, nearly these three. Van Hoorn has gained a few positions here. He's up into P14 now, so that undercut did work. However, Curtin staying ahead. He wasn't able to get Curtin, but he was able to get a few others. Vasala there in P17, very close to Purcell as well, so we could have maybe a three-way battle between Pryor, Purcell and Vasala. Let's quickly switch to them now. Let's go on board with Purcell here. Now let's bring up the replay so we can see exactly what happened. To Fora earlier on in the race. So here we go. You can see here Fora in the black Mercedes. They're defending to the inside, and these two are going to go side by side here. This fast right-hander, and it just looks like Fora moves slightly across. I don't think it was the Aston's fault, and there we go, straight into the barriers. He did have his brakes on, but unfortunately that's where he picked up all the damage from, and had to pit quite early as a result. But looking at Purcell, he's closing in on Pryor once again. Pit window is now closed, but I don't think it's a matter anyone. They've all served their mandatory pit stops. saying great view. Yeah, it's a lovely view. This wheel cam that we've got. In fact, we've got the other side as well, I believe. There we go. Just in case you want to see the other side. I don't know, but he is definitely closing in on Pryor. Actually, the gap 1.2 seconds. It's fairly even. Vasala in the back, not far off either. The gap between Vasala and Purcell was about 1.5. It's down to 1 second. Vasala really closing in, and you can see they're hugging that inside curb, keeping him hooked around, and that's helped him gain so much time here. He's really closed in on Purcell, and he's well involved in this battle now. It looks like King, who will quickly switch to, is right in the back of Mamid. So these two battling for position now. That's going to allow Whitehead to pull even more of a gap. He's already got 12.7 seconds to Whitehead. Well, I think he's ridden off into the distance, and I don't think anyone's going to catch him at this stage in the race, unless, of course, he manages to pick up a drive-through for track limits. And I don't want to curse him. We're now strong the commentator's curse here. The curse is here at the SimZone. We've seen it, and I don't know if Michael Races is watching. Michael Thomas, if you are, once again, we're sorry about the commentator's curse at Donington Park. It wasn't intentional, but these two still very, very close. And I think we won't actually bring up a replay of what happened with Vegan, because we've got so many interesting battles going on as we speak. We've got Canberra and Van Hoorn, who are extremely close to each other, and we're gonna have to bring them up on our secondary screen if you can find them. Here we go, we found them now. But it's not easy doing this as on your own at all, especially while commentating. But hey, we love multitasking, don't we? So looks like Canberra holding on there to what is P13. Van Hoorn very close behind, but King has found even more time here. And is he going to look for an inside move? No, he's not. He's going to stay on the outside here, try and get a later apex. It is quite a late apex corner, this one, but it doesn't look like it's helped him that much. And like I mentioned earlier, that corner off camber, so if you stay on the outside for too long, it is quite hard to get back towards the inside. I think it's just a matter of time here before King can find a way past, because he is lapping quicker than Mamid at the moment. 153.8 that last lap. Actually, wait, just crossing line, so it was a 153 for King the previous lap before this one. And Mamid lapping in the 154s, but now both of them in the 154.2s, obviously because they are battling. Lap times will be slower for these two. They don't have to worry about anyone behind them. Muller 11 seconds back, so no threat from Muller anymore. It's just left these two to battle it out on track. No pit stops as well. It's all down to getting the overtake done on the black stuff. I think we're going to have to go on board here with King. Is he following exactly identical to what Mamid is doing, and he's closing in ever so slightly. Mamid not able to do anything. He's going to be in a bit of a hopeless position. He's going to move to the outside of the track. King's not got enough there to pull to the inside, and he's happy back out there, back onto the racing line. You can see how much the Ferrari's bouncing there on the exit. The cars that are running much lower seem to be really struggling there, as we saw Whitehead earlier almost losing the car there, but luckily he managed to save it. And obviously we saw another Porsche Vegan lose the car there as well. A lot of people going wide in that corner after Mr. Straight. It's very easy to do so. See, you can just hear the Aston doesn't pick up out of these slow corners as well as the Ferrari does, and that's where Mamid has gained a bit more time. Mamid putting up a great defense here. And it's not going to be easy for King to get past whatsoever. And we're still watching that battle between Camera and Van Hoorn, and looks like Matt Pryor has now joined in the action as well. They're still focusing on this battle for P2, in there trying to get even closer to Mamid before we get onto this long straight. And he is close once again, but is it going to be enough? Last time I believe they're a bit closer than this, so I don't think King's going to be able to get past by the time we get to the end of the straight. Although he is closing in now, the slipstream really coming into effect here. Almost topping out is King. He looks towards the inside, but once again, it's not enough. He pokes a nose down the inside, forces Mamid to leave a slight bit of room on the inside, but it's not going to force him into an error just yet. Mamid unfazed, and he holds on to P2. What a battle we've got going on between these two. Absolutely unbelievable. And we've got so many more battles going on. Further down the grid, we've got still this battle between Van Hoorn and Pryor now. Camera has actually pulled away 2.7 seconds, but we've got a great battle between Cano, Risala and Purcell, who we're going to have to look at now. This is absolutely lovely. Let's bring this up side by side. I think we're going to have to do this. There we go, you can see there that is Purcell leading this three-way battle, followed by Vesala, then Cano, and we're going to go, in fact, we're going to go on board with Cano there. You can see there Vesala looking towards the inside. Is he going to get that move done? A big snap of oversteer there for Cano. Look how much time he's lost as a result. He managed to save that. That could have been him into the wall. But luckily here at Ricard there's a lot of runoff, and he managed to save that as well. So props to Cano for that save. But he's caught back up in a matter of a couple corners here. So it just shows that he is, well, he seems to be quicker, but these two in front battling, so that will be slowing them down as well. Very late on the brakes, they're almost tagging the back of the bright yellow BMW there of Purcell. But as a result, he's lost a bit more time once again, and these two, Mamid and King, still separated just by half a second here. King not able to get past. Maybe he's trying to leave it till the last few moments so that Mamid doesn't have enough time to try and get back past King. At the moment, King not able to get close enough for an overtaking opportunity. And obviously now the fastest lap of the race has gone to Whitehead at 1:53.2. I think he's beaten that by just a tenth, I believe. The previous fastest lap set by King was 1:53.3. So Whitehead obviously looking to gain that extra point as well. The Ferrari bouncing over the curbs much more than the Aston here, but King very, very close here as we get towards the straights. Risala and Purcell side by side there. Purcell still holding on just about, but Vesala really putting on the pressure to him here. Can he force Purcell into a mistake? Purcell has been absolutely faultless up until, up until now. And he's made a slight mistake there. He's gone slightly deep into the corner, but so is Vesala. And looks like Cano's going to get past. They're utilising the exit, and he's going to send it down the inside on Purcell. These two leaving minimal room for each other. Luckily, there was no contact. And is Cano going to be able to get past? Doesn't look like just yet, but he holds on there to secure what is P17, so he's got past Vesala. Now he's going to hunt down Purcell, who's just in front of him here. We're gonna have to wait and see what Kano could do, but these two once again still very, very close, Mamid and King. Alright, Sim Pro, take care. DJ saying, how much are you allowed to swerve on the straight? Well, you're not really allowed to swerve, you're allowed to, ideally it's one defensive move. You choose a line and stick to it is the way to go. But what an exit King has got out of turn 2 there. Is he going to look towards the inside now? He is, but he's backed out of that, and Mamid holds on. But it's getting even closer between these two. Mamid, you can see that rear left wheel lifting up into the air there, just bouncing over the curbs. There are some really aggressive curbs here at Ricard, especially in that first sector. These two extremely close. Now looks like Kano has got past Purcell as well, so just an update on that battle. Kano now in front of Purcell and Vesala. And King find a way past. We're into the final 10 minutes or 8 minutes now left to go. Time is definitely running out, but King getting closer and closer. He's finding more opportunities or possible opportunities to try and get past. But Mamid putting up a solid defense here, and it's not easy for King to get past whatsoever. Mamid parking the car on the apex, placing his car perfectly where it needs to, so that King isn't able to find an opening. You can see they're going defensive once again, slightly defensive into the final corner. Not enough to hinder his exit, but just enough so that King can't send it down the inside. And we're going to quickly switch to this battle between Vesala and Purcell. Looks like, oh, Alfevich had yellow flags there for him. He's currently running in P8, so maybe a slight off, or maybe a slight spin there for him as well. But we're going to switch back to this battle for P17. So this battle going on very strong. This is Vesala and Purcell side by side now. Down the Mr. Straight, Purcell on the outside, and looks like he's not going to be able to hold that. So Vesala back through, and Purcell down to P18. Now you can see that in the background, Barth not far behind, Pryor not far behind either, so they could definitely have an opportunity to catch up. We're only, well, there's only 6 minutes left of the race to go, so time is running out once again for these two. They're going to need to pull something out of the bag if they want to get involved in this battle and get even closer. You can see there, we've got Mamid and King still battling, and this has been an amazing battle. I think Paul Ricard, personally, one of my favourite circuits. I know it's not really liked amongst a lot of sim racers, at least from what I've heard. And it is a great circuit. It throws up some really interesting battles, especially when you've got a slower car on that straight, battling with a car that's quick on the straights but slower in the corners. I'm not sure if that made sense, but it does in my head. That's what matters. But yeah, it really throws up some interesting battles, like we've seen with Canberra and BJR. Canberra down into P13, now BJR up into P10. Looks like there's been a change in position, actually. Just as I was speaking about these two, looks like Dressel has got past up into P9 now. Is Dressel and BJR down into P10. He didn't quite catch that move, but he's run wide there into this long right-hander, and a bit of contact between the two, but nothing too wrong there, and looks like the BMW is going to hold on to that position, but although runs slightly wide there, bit of a mistake on the exit, and Dressel not really on the track there. He has to be careful because track limits there are quite strict as well, but he's not going to be able to get this move done unless he can slide down the inside. No, and the BMW goes defensive through the final corner. BJR isn't going to get a good exit though. Dressel and the McLaren gets a very good exit compared to the BMW, and looks like BJR going extremely defensive this early on into turn one. Dressel, is he going to look to the outside? If I were him, I'd try and be later on the outside here in the brakes. I don't think it's going to be enough though. He hasn't got enough of an overlap there with the BMW to do that. And looks like Mohammed and King getting a bit feisty here, although they're keeping it respectful on track. I think King needs to try and poke his nose down the inside a bit more to maybe force Mohammed into a mistake. Maybe a few more dummies here. It does work on experienced drivers. Definitely works. Especially if you catch them not paying attention. Could easily force them into a mistake. We've got so many battles going on. I have no idea who to watch at the moment. We've got Pryor and Canberra. We need a third screen at this rate. We've got Pryor and Canberra battling for P13 and P14. We've got Van Hoorn and Cano battling for P15 and P16. We've got Purcell a second back to Visala. We've got a three-way battle. Actually, no, we've got a three-way battle from Visala, Purcell, and Barth. There's just way too much going on here. And I think we'll leave this battle to have a look at this three-way battle going on for P17. So it's Visala, Purcell, and Barth. Purcell and Visala have been absolutely going at it in this second half of the race. Looks like Finn Dressel's made a mistake here. Was there contact between the two, or was that a mistake from Dressel? He's going to have to rejoin the circuit. And was that a mistake from Canberra as well? Has he lost the car? He did get a massive bit of oversteer there, but he kept it pointing in the right direction. And yeah, he would have got past Dressel, but unfortunately with that mistake, he wasn't able to do so. Now the top two, P2 and P3, still very, very close. We're into the final couple of minutes, the final few laps of this race. Looks like Purcell, actually forget those two, we've now got Van Hoorn and Cano. There's so much going on. It's absolutely unbelievable. And Cano looking to the inside in turn one, but Van Hoorn takes a slightly more defensive line there, turns a bit early into turn one to shut that door, so Cano can't find a way past. But they have to be careful. If they continue battling, they've got a massive train of cars behind them. They've got Cano, Visala, Purcell, and Barth. And a huge slide there from Van Hoorn, taking a bit too much curb on the inside. He managed to hold the slide, but he's not going to allow him. Oh, he's lost the car once again. Bit of contact there, and he's into the barriers. He's going to lose so many positions here. Here's Van Hoorn. He's going to drop down to P20 here, and I don't think that was the Porsche's fault. It's like Van Hoorn got really loose over the exit curb, and unfortunately he came back onto the track. Cano was there, but that puts Cano back up into back up a position into P15, but he's got Visala behind him. That is Purcell behind. It looks like Whitehead coming through as well. So this is absolutely unbelievable. We've got a bit of drama unfolding here in the final few minutes of this race. It looks like the gap between King and Mohammed is now a second, so King may be backing off, or maybe just making a slight mistake that last lap. It's unlikely of him to back off this late into the race when he's so close, but Luke Whitehead, I think it's going to be another lap. He's going to make it another lap here. Looks like Curtin is into the pits once more. So that's going to be a drive-through penalty. You can see there Cano moving out the way. No, I think Whitehead wanted to make it this last lap. No, it's going to be one more. He definitely wanted to make it the last lap. You could see him slowing down there. But yeah, he's going to make it one more lap. And that's going to allow King to get possibly closer. Yeah, Whitehead's gifted King another chance here to get closer and try and grab P2 off of Mamid, but it hasn't been easy for King and it hasn't been easy for Mamid either. But we look back to P15, this battle's still going on strong. You can see there Vasala followed by Purcell, then Barth. Curtin, after his drive-through penalties, dropped down to P20. So he's not really close to anyone. Hutchinson catching up to Viken, but I don't think it's going to be enough with this being the last lap. And Purcell's going to fly past Vasala down the Mistral Straight there. Vasala's tucking into the slipstream once more. Barth in the background there, still not able to get close enough. But where is our race leader? Coming through the fast right-hander here. A great performance from Whitehead. We've still got a few corners to go. In the meantime, I'm going to switch back to this battle. And Purcell, after getting past, has been able to hold on to the position, and that's allowed Barth to get closer to Vasala. Can Barth find a way past into the final few corners? Where is Whitehead actually? He is he behind them or is he in front? I'm not quite sure. But he's coming up towards the final. He's in front, so it is the last lap for them as well. And Whitehead's going to round off the final corner. He's going to finish the race in P1. What a race there from Whitehead. Managed to defend against King in the opening stages, and ever since pulled away lap after lap. And he's finished the race with a 20-second lead here to Mamid in P2. King there just in the background, not able to get that move done, but Mamid celebrating a bit too early, but he's going to cross the line here in P2. King's going to cross the line in P3. That rounds off the podium. Muller's going to cross the line in P4, and it looks like Purcell, Vasala and Barth finished as they were. Muller's going to cross the line in a strong P4 here. Great result from him as well. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. Sidor up into P5 after starting P8 there. What a race from him as well. Pithiver's not far behind. These two finishing within a second of each other. Pithiver's in P6. Hillhorse in P7. And he's going to cross the line now. Another driver for DSRT. Alfovic is coming up towards the final few corners as well. But Alfovic is going to finish in P8. FBB JL is going to finish in P9. And the number 89, Aston, I still don't want to pronounce his second name. Save myself the embarrassment, and well, might save him some embarrassment as well, depending how badly I pronounce it. I think I'm going to have to look up how to pronounce it for next round. But yeah, he's going to round off the top 10 here in this race, and gonna see if we can get some interviews with the top 3. And we'll be back very shortly for the interviews. Make sure to stick around. ladies and gents, we're gonna get some interviews underway here. We've got Mamid first. We'll move Mamid over. Malik, what a race from you, finishing P2, defending against the one and only Dalking. I mean, congratulations, that was an amazing performance from you. How are you feeling after that?
Hi, thank you. My English is very bad, sorry,
Oh,
I'm
no
French,
problem.
well, the race was very amazing. Dalking and Whitehead are so far to me, but with consistency, I can stay P2. Very good race, amazing race, yes.
Yes, next round is Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Do you like
No.
Nürburgring? Was it?
I like Nürburgring, but no with Ferrari, like for Ricard, it's very hard. It's very hard in Paul Ricard, Nürburgring, but I chose this, so I can. I try to do my best. I try to do my best.
Yeah, that's the main thing to do. But once again, congratulations on P2.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you next round.
Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Good night.
And thank you.
Take care. There we have it. That was Malik there, finishing in P2 with a stellar performance from him. We've also got Whitehead, who we're going to bring in as well. Luke, what a race from you once again. I mean, the Porsche at Paul Ricard managed to hold off Darren on the straights, surprisingly. He wasn't actually able to get past, but yeah, I mean, you two were so close at the start, and then you just managed to pull away. I think his tyres started to drop off quite a bit, but you utilised that and took advantage of that and ended up with a 20-second lead in the end.
Yeah, well, first off, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, exactly as you said, really. We had pretty good straight line speed, luckily, and just in general, the pace and tyre wear was just really good. I mean, coming into the race today, I wasn't feeling massively confident. Like, the setup didn't feel that good, but I made a couple of changes in quali and had a lot more time in my quali laps, so that filled me with a bit of confidence for the race. And then once I kind of got into my rhythm after a few laps, we just started pulling away slowly from Dalking, and then eventually broke the 1 second barrier, which is when, you know, we started pulling away big time, because then he'd lost the slipstream. So it was all about just breaking that 1 second margin. I knew that once I do that, it would make my whole life a lot easier, and luckily it did, which was quite a pleasant surprise. So yeah, it was just nice to be able to pull that gap and eventually win by 20 seconds, despite not feeling massively confident on the setup front. So I was very happy.
Yeah, we did see you pulling away as soon as you got that second gap to him. But I mean, it's amazing racing between you two. We saw you get quite loose on the exit of that fast right-hander after the long straight. You caught that nicely as well, but was that a bit of a scare, or?
Yeah, I mean, the battle with Dal was amazing on the first lap. It was really good respect from both of us, and it was really good fun, actually. I had a big smile on my face while doing that. And then, yeah, as you said, the moments, I had a fair few, probably quite a lot that you didn't see as well. I had probably about 10 of those moments. And, I mean, the first one's very scary, but then once you work out how to kind of counter that you know, incident or that scenario, then it becomes a lot easier throughout the race. And, I mean, it's kind of a Porsche thing with that curb. And I mean, I drove the Ferrari as well in a 6-hour race, and the Ferrari is equally as bad, if not worse, on that curb. So luckily, I'm kind of well-rounded in how to, you know, negotiate that issue. But yeah, there wasn't enough of a problem to, you know, spear me into the wall, which was also very, very nice indeed. So yeah, it all worked out perfectly, absolutely perfectly from my end.
Yeah, and extending your championship lead. Now coming into next round, Nürburgring, which is quite a good track for the Porsche. How are you feeling? More confident in coming into this round?
Definitely, yes, definitely. I've been driving Nürburgring this week, and I've got a setup that feels pretty amazing. So hopefully we should have the good pace at Nurbs. I know obviously the M4 is quicker overall, but I don't think there's any that are sort of up the front, luckily. Otherwise, you know, we've been in a bit of a more difficult situation, but the Porsche has the legs on the Ferrari and the Aston, as far as I'm aware, and I'm pretty confident we can bring home another strong win. That's the hope, anyway.
Yeah,
Anyways, great having you once again here in the SimZone, and congratulations on the win.
No, thank you. The pleasure's all mine. Excited to see you guys next week.
Yep, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Whitehead with us, winning the race here at Ricard round 2. Now remember to check out Next Level Racing, our sponsors for this championship, and the link is in the description to check out all their products. They've got some amazing rigs that you can view there as well. But from us, it's good night and take care.